I have an LBU. You can only imagine.
So we still have a majority. I'd like to call the Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order. For the record, we have all members present with the exception of Somerville and Amobian. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. We have no items on our old agenda. We'll read in our first item here. This is an ordinance amending ordinance number 42-2017, passed February 13th, 2017, and ordinance 297-2017, passed September 25th, 2017, which established the annual appropriation for the current expenses, other expenditures, and capital outlays of the City of Akron for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2017, and declaring an emergency. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the second of our budget amendments for the 2017 operating budget. This is consistent with what we have done in years past, where we typically do 2 or 3 amendments. This will be the second and final amendment to this year's budget. You were all given a letter or a memo that summarizes the changes that are contained in the budget. Cindy Donnell, our audit and budget manager, is here to give a brief summary of the changes that are included in this ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Donnell?
Some of the changes are simply just moving within the data fund. So Section 8, Data Fund 2080, we're just moving budget from one category down to another. It's not really adding to the budget, whereas other data funds we're actually reducing in some categories and adding to the other, and in other instances just taking from unappropriated fund balance. There is a 3-page memo explaining the ins and outs.
Okay.
I'm more than happy to go over it in detail if you'd like.
How about if, we'll obviously entertain any questions today. I think for other council members, we'll probably want to, I'd like a week to look at this, and then I believe you're going to be out of town. Okay,
Tomorrow.
now just let the whole world know that you're out of town this week, but I think we should, let the world, whatever portion of it's listening, I think maybe we should direct any questions.
Any questions that you have, you could direct to me, and we'll reply back. Yeah.
Okay, very good. But for the time being, any questions or comments? Yes.
Since the figures are not on the summarized piece, is that the attachment in the...
Correct. The figures are included in the ordinance itself. And it details out, there's a from and to designation on each of the sections, and each of the sections are done by fund. So, with the general fund and the highway fund.
So as it's outlined here, I'll be able to follow.
Correct.
That. Okay,
yes.
thank you.
Online we have the attachments.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
The memo follows the ordinance, so like Section 1 is just a generalization. Section 2 talks about general fund. The actual ordinance itself, Section 2, is the general fund.
So it goes in and out. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Very good. Any other questions or comments? A motion for time, and that'll give us a week here. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Okay, I'll just encourage everyone to take a look at that. All right, we have another item. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Akron Summit Convention and Visitors Bureau Incorporated to pay an operating subsidy for the Convention Bureau for 2017 in order to support the services and offerings of the Convention Bureau to the residents and visitors of the greater Akron area, and declaring an emergency. Ms. Miller-Dawson.
Thank you. This is something that we have been doing for many years. The amount that we will be giving them in 2017 is $138,000. Greg Mervis is here to talk about what's been going on at the Convention Bureau, and I believe he has packets for everyone.
Okay, very well. Mr. Mervis, welcome.
Hello all, thank you. It's good to be back for my annual visit. I think the packets should be right in front of you. As you all know, as Ms. Miller-Dawson suggested, we've been doing this since 1973. I've been there since 1995, so almost as old. But we take great pride in representing Greater Akron. As you all know, in Summit County is the hospitality sort of team that brings people to this area. 16,000 plus employees throughout the county are involved in travel and tourism. We strive every day to be excellent stewards of the funds that you provide to us. This number has not increased in quite some time. I am delighted to tell you that the two new hotels in Akron, which are the Courtyard by Marriott, North Side as we refer to it, or the Hilton Garden Inn East End, some of us still call it Goodyear, area, are both doing very, very well. They're two of the top performers in the footprint of Summit County. They're much the envy of many of the other hoteliers within the county, so very happy for those individuals and those corporations are doing well. We again were designated by Facilities and Destinations Magazine a top destination award. There's only 31 in the country in 2016 that were awarded that, so we're very pleased. It's sort of bragging rights for us within our industry. One, that's what our clients do. Two, the way that our hotels service. And three, a small component, a good-sized component, but I'd like to say a small component, is what the Convention and Visitors Bureau and our team does to help us achieve that award, so we're thrilled about that. More than happy to answer any questions. Business in 2016 was very, very good. Business in 2017 is good. 2018 is going to be another breakthrough year for us, like 2013 and 14. I think we're positioned very well to continue to drive employment, to continue to drive a tax base, and continue to drive overall recognition of the community, as well as hopefully serving some pretty good food out of John S. Knight Center and Greystone Hall. And I would ask and encourage, hopefully, for an affirmative vote for this particular legislation.
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Mr. Mervis or Ms. Miller-Dawson? All right. And I'm assuming, you know, I think we'll probably, if we can get a motion to place this on the consent agenda, and then if anybody from the council would have any questions, we could direct them to you or to finance this week?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion for consent. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second for consent agenda. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. All right, thank you. And
Thank
we
you.
will see that that's placed. Thank you for your good hard work. I know, as we've said, the past few years, had big shoes to fill. You've stepped right in there, and thank you very much for
Appreciate
all
it.
that
I'm an
you're
Akron
doing.
guy. You let me talk about this place called home, so it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, if there's nothing else to come before us, we will adjourn at 3:10. Thank you.